Hey everybody, I'm Monty Mont.
And I'm Tiff.
And I'm Coco Dupree.
And these
are a few
of our favorite
Sings.
Nice. Hey. There we go. Guys, welcome to another episode of our favorite Sings podcast. And we are blessed today, man. God is good. Tiff, how you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
And we have an amazing guest. So that's a great thing that you said, because guys, we're going across the pond, as they say, to the UK. We have an international artist today with us, Miss Coco Dupree. How are you doing today?
Hey, I am fantastic. I'm so excited. So I can't wait.
So again, guys, the power of social media. Before the show, I was telling Coco, we follow each other, but I don't know how. I don't remember. We were trying to trace the origin. And here's what's crazy. I didn't know she was from the UK. She put out a live a couple of days ago, and I heard her talking. I said, oh, she got an accent. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even know. I had no idea. So, God works stuff out, because I had no idea. But hey, we're here and she's here, and we got some great things to get into it with her with. So, Coco, we love to ask two main questions. I'm gonna ask you the first one. Tiff will ask you the next one. This is
and Monty, right now, before we start, let me know now if you're gonna start talking in an accent, because I don't want to be thrown off.
Well, no. See now, okay. Well, I'll address it right now, Coco. Let me.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't speak in a British accent, but
yes,
I can sing in a British accent. I know they don't make no sense. I can. I don't know.
That's amazing. I so want to hear it.
Well, it's raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. I don't know how I do it. It just
literally opened the door for this, Coco. I needed him to do this.
Listen.
Yes.
I went to London once, and I spent so much time we had a tour guide, and we were just talking, and then she sang something, and I sang it with, and I said, wait a minute. I was like, I didn't know I could. I was like, I can't talk. I love a British accent. I can't speak it, but I can sing it.
That is so
cute. There's a room somewhere. Anyway, enough about me.
Oh my God, that's so good. That's actually better than me. Everybody comes at me because my accent is so twisted. Where I lived in the States for a long time, and obviously my family is of Caribbean origin, and you've got some Americans in there, so it's like I grew up with the weirdest mixed accent. Oh, I can hear the English in there, and then you can hear when you come in with y'all and do all this, and I get cursed out by my family all the time.
Yeah, see, and they told me now it's different kinds of accents and all that stuff. So I don't know what mine is, but yeah, that's that. So when did you first start singing, and then when did you really know you could really sing? You're like, oh, okay, I might have something going here. You know what I mean?
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. So first of all, I was raised in a family that are multi-talented, first of all. And so we grew up in a church. Well, it's a family run church, and everybody from the cousins to the aunties to the uncles, everybody was in the music industry somehow. So for me, I think around 11, 12, I was just, around that age, me and my sister, I just remember me and my sister used to we used to have like hairbrushes, and we'd always be singing in the living room, whatever. So in our household, we couldn't really listen to a lot of secular music, but you know, obviously my sister being older, she was in her teens, so she was allowed to play certain things like Boyz II Men or Mariah Carey. So like I fell in love with Mariah Carey. So, and because not knowing that I could always whistle, I could do the high notes. Obviously,
Oh, okay.
at that age, your voice is like flexible. You could do all types of craziness and doing all that stuff. Don't ask me to do that now because it ain't gonna happen. But but so I just remembered that. So we used to just always dance in the living room and sing all these songs. And I think once I hit 16, my older cousins would always say that I had like a good voice, but for me, I'm like, I just didn't like being in the limelight or being picked out and saying, oh, she can sing, let's hear. No, I was known as the professional dancer. So I used to do a lot of hip hop and breakdancing. That was my passion. That was my love. So I started there. But then it was like, as we got older, it's like after church on a Sunday, we would always go upstairs. And one of my cousins called Dean, he would always make us sit in a circle upstairs after church, and he would just play instrumentals, and he was like, all right, cool, one by one, everyone singing ad lib, just freestyle ad libs. And I was like nervous every time it came to me, because I'm like, I can't sing, I would tell myself I can't sing, I can't. They're like, what, you're so sick, just do it. And I was like, okay. And we kept doing that consistently all the time. So when they used to say, Coco, you can sing, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I just want to dance, you know. So that was me. And obviously as I got older, and my cousin would take me to like a lot of these open mic nights and stuff in central London, in the city. He introduced me to a guy that used to host these nights. And I think may have been maybe 17 or 18. And he was just like, oh, this is my cousin Coco, like she can sing. And I'm like, what you doing? Don't say this. And then one time he brought me up on stage just to do like backing vocals for some of the artists that he would bring on stage. And I knew all the songs because it's all Motown. It's all Stevie Wonder and stuff like that. So I did all that. And then he's like, all right, let me introduce you to everyone. All right, sing a note, come on, go. And I was just like, oh my gosh, no, he's not doing this. And I did it. And everyone was like, what? You know, little old me just doing that. And so I was just like, okay. And then since then I was like, you know what, that was fun being on stage and singing. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So, and then I think my dancing kind of stopped at the age of 21. And then I just ended up, the music, the singing just pretty much took over. And wow, pretty much from there. But when you're coming from a background of family that, you know, everyone's either a singer or plays an instrument or acting or something, it's like, it's almost like inevitable that you're going to take up something, you know. That's how it was. My uncles were in a group called the Wade Brothers. They were like on the same level as like commissioned. So my uncles know them, some of them as well, actually. Oh, wow. And stuff. So it's like, seeing them, and I used to go to all their concerts and stuff like that, and it's just like, okay, I love this, you know. So yeah, just kind of grew from that.
Nice. But you know what? You mentioned that you were a dancer. That was your real passion, but you also could sing. And that's the thing, like God doesn't limit us with our talents. Like we're able to just kind of, you know, do other things, and we're not in a box. So that is like really, really amazing that you were able to do the dancing and then transition into the singing. I think that's really, really dope. Yeah. Okay. So I know you mentioned Mariah Carey, you know, you fell in love with her. Who are some of your other influences coming up, and what are some of your favorite songs?
Oh my gosh, I enjoyed this question. So for me, obviously my influences growing up, like I said, in our household, when I was young, we listened to we couldn't listen to secular. So when I was young, we just heard, you know, I just remember my dad in that old BMW that he had, that it was just commission being played all the time, commission. And you know what's so interesting is like, I even rate them till this day. Like I'm saying old school, you cannot, you know, no one, I just like, you can't compare no one to commission. Their music was so tough for me. So commissioned, I grew up from that, Karen Clark. But I think, yeah, Kim Burrell and obviously Fred Hammond, absolutely. But also when we was allowed to listen to certain things, Michael Jackson kind of slipped in there. Brandy as well, because obviously if you listen to my tone in my music and how I do my harmonies, that all came from that side, Brandy, how she does all the harmonies, but all of that, I say that came from gospel anyway. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like come on now, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I religiously listened to Kim Burrell, and I remember saying to myself, you know what, how can I stretch my vocals so that it's just deep, like my range can, you know, be wide. And so I was going ham on Kim Burrell every day, stretching my vocals on her songs and Karen Clark's, and that was pretty much what I listened to, mainly all their music. In terms of favorite songs, oh my goodness, there's too many. There's like because every song I fell in love with touched a different emotion for me. That's why I find this question so hard. But if I had to pick, I would definitely say Running Back to You and
Oh yeah.
and Ordinary Just Won't Do by Commissioned.
Ah,
Those two specific songs, even now thinking about it, I already feel my emotions stirring, because whenever I was going through a struggle or whenever I was going through something, anytime I would sing those songs, it was like God was completely just stripping everything. It's like, you know, it's like a baby coming to you and just snot coming down their nose, and
yeah.
they're just looking a hot mess crying. But that's how I was when I listened to those
Yeah.
songs. Those songs definitely. And Don't Pass Me By Fred Hammond.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, Kim Burrell, Prodigal Son, and Victory. Those two songs did it for me, 100%. So, you know, and obviously, like I said, I love listening to Brandy. There's just too much songs, but those specific ones that I've mentioned, they just touch me different. So yeah.
Yeah. That's I mean, come on now, commission. What are you talking about? That's and
Really and
we
truly,
could
I
just
could sing
do a
every
commission
song,
podcast just to go over that. Those guys,
right?
I mean, powerful in those songs. You know what, Tiff? This is the second person that talked about the Brandy vocals too. We're gonna have to
Oh,
have. You know what? We should just have
and
Brandy on.
today, though, second
Yeah,
person today.
yes, we did an interview earlier,
Okay.
and we had a guy on. He just talked about Brandy and we gotta just have Brandy on. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Fine, that's it.
That's it.
Brandy's gonna come on the show. We'll just talk.
Yes. And then when you get her on, you tell her about me and tell her that we want to
Yes.
collab. Look it
Okay.
up.
So now you got some new music coming out, and we're gonna have you can plug all that and things like that, but I want to just kind of ask, like, what can we expect? You kind of gave us a little bit of your style, and how excited are you? You know, I know for artists it's a lot of hard work you put into it, so how excited are you about your project, and what can we expect from it?
Oof. I am super duper excited, because for me, it's mainly because it's been about 10 years since I released anything.
Wow.
If I tell you my journey, we're going to write a book right here, right now. But yeah, my journey, oh my gosh, it's been 10 years. So with this first single that I've released is basically my personal life, is what you're going to hear. Everything I write is personal to me. I'm not afraid to put my whole life on blast, as we would say. But at the end of it, you know, like I do, I start with God and I end with God. That's what's important. All the stuff in between, you're going to hear personal things, but I start and finish with Jesus, and that's just how it's going to be. But I'm excited because it's been such a long time. And there was a period where I said, you know what, I give up. I'm done. I'm watching music. Like, I was going through depression. I was stressed. I couldn't. Music was not happening. I tried it in the secular scene as well, and that just wasn't working. And then I just hit a complete rock bottom, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. I felt lost. So you know what? I actually see this whole coronavirus situation as a huge blessing. You know, they say sometimes you need to look at the blessings in the challenges.
Yeah.
It's a huge blessing for me, because I came out of the whole I basically fell away, and I was just like, I'm done with church. I'm done with Christian. I'm doing my own thing. I've been born and raised in this, and I don't see anything happening. I'm depressed, and I'm not getting out of this. I'm done. I'm going to do me. And then it just took literally this whole coronavirus thing, lockdown, to happen for me to be like, well, look at here. Now I'm here with my brain. I have nothing. I was forced to reevaluate my whole life.
Wow.
And it actually took for my father to get sick to actually get Corona for me to be like, all right, Lord, I need you now. Like, seriously, like and it took for that for me to actually fall on my face and be like, I surrender my whole life to you now. Like, I surrender all of it. There's nowhere else that I can go. There's nowhere to turn. And I'm telling you, since that day happened, and I was just in the midst of just growing, reading, praying, praising, it's like it was like it's like the skies opened up and you just see that, and it was just like music downloads was coming
just
in.
started to pour in.
Oh my goodness. And I was thinking, I don't have no producer. I don't have nothing. What do I do? So I just went onto YouTube and started dragging people's productions and just writing. And, by the end of last year, I randomly went on a live and met this producer. I didn't even know it was a producer. He was just playing keys and talking. And he was just, and I was thinking, oh, this guy's anointed. Like there's something different about this person, you know what I'm saying? And we just kept like talking and just, chopping it up back and forth. And turns out he produces. And I think since December last year, we ended up just getting in contact and explaining the vision, and we just grew that we're on the same wave in terms of musically and what God wants to do with us, that we're like, yo, this is meant to happen. Let's do it. And in the space of 4 months, we've done about almost 20 tracks. In 4 months, I've never heard of someone do so many, what I'm saying, almost 4 projects. We've put 4 projects together. So this whole stuff is basically my journey for the last 10 years is basically summed up in 4 of these songs, which is the first EP that will be released this year. So you're going to hear highs, you're going to hear lows, you're going to hear emotion, you're going to hear strength, you're going to hear transparency, and love. So the single that is coming off is obviously my first single called Done It, which is taken off of the first EP called Footprints.
Mm-hmm.
So now you understand when I say I'm talking about my journey, because obviously Footprints, we all know the poem of Footprints. So I kind of use that, and it just, I'm telling you, it just prophetically all worked together, and it just all made sense.
You know what? For whatever I literally like have chills in this very second, right? Because what you were saying, I can relate to on many, many levels. So how you were talking about how excited you are, I just became excited. And I too now can't wait to listen and to hear this, because what I believe that you understand, and what I want to say is that whatever this journey is that you've now put out for people to hear, that transparency is going to help so many people. And I feel that. And what you said about the pandemic and now being forced now to fall on your face now, because there's nowhere else for us to go. There's so many people that I know for a fact can even just relate to that. And now being able to create, because during that time, a lot of creators couldn't create, right? For various reasons. They couldn't, they had blockage, they couldn't write, for whatever. It was a stressful time for all of us. So a lot of creators couldn't create during that time. But the fact is, you cried out to God, and all of these things begin to download in your spirit, and look what's happened. So you're excited, but I just became super excited, right? So I can't wait to hear it. Like I really can't wait to hear it. So I'm excited for you as well, Coco.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Okay. So, what is something that people don't know about the process of making music on a professional level? Teach us a little something, huh?
How much time we got again? Oh man, we can go on forever on this one. On a professional level, oh my goodness. Time. Time. Is what people don't realize is when it comes to recording stuff that they don't know that the countless times it takes to get a perfect line. And when you're privileged to have your own setup, as I do, thanks to the people that actually decided to bless me during lockdown. They came out of nowhere,
Oh, wow.
and just said, look, we was told that God told us that we need to bless you. Like, do you have a laptop? Do you? And I was like, actually,
won't he send the resources?
my laptop just broke actually, and they actually put money in my account for me to get a whole studio set up in my home. So
Wow.
you just throw that blessing in there. So I was like, oh my goodness. So really and truly, it's because of the time that I was in terms of the lockdown, I had so much time to get things done. So, but if we're talking about when you're recording, you know, it depends on what level you are. If you're signed by a label, you're given a time frame. You have to go to the studios. You have to, you know, go and sit in with writers, or you have to go and write this song because they've paid for the studio time. So you have to get there on time. You have to write all these songs. You know, they don't talk about, you know, what happens if you as a writer get a blockage, how hard it is to kind of push a song through is very hard. And so for me, it was like, it takes a lot of time, you know, to get a perfect line. And obviously, when you're a person that can sing and you don't need to use auto-tune, it's, you know, you just say, all right, you need, my cousin, he's strict. He's like, sing that line again, sing that line. And by the time you've done that one line, it's 100 times, but it's perfect. Do you know what I'm saying? So that process can take the longest, especially when you're independent, you're in control of everything. Yeah. And it's hard, but very much worth it as well in the end. So a lot of time goes into it, and good music cannot be rushed. That's what I say. Good music cannot be rushed. That's why time is the first thing. You cannot rush good music, which is what I love about being independent as well. I have the creative control. But the ultimate thing is that when you're during the writing sessions and all that, it takes dedication, resilience, and time. Those are the main three things I put on there. So it just depends on, you know, what you come with, but also I say the first thing before you even write or do anything, what's the purpose? Know the purpose first, because I feel like one thing I've been saying recently is before you tell your story, know the purpose, or know the point. Without a story, there is no point, there is no purpose. But without the purpose of the point, you can't tell your story. Yeah. So for me, that's why I'm like, before I start writing, what am I doing? What is the whole purpose of why I'm writing this and putting this together? Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what it is for me. And just everything takes time. You're going to get nights where you get nothing. Even now, even though I've got the downloads, it's like, all right, cool. We've done 20 songs. What's next? And I'm like, all right, cool. Oh, new track, Justin. Okay, fantastic. All right. My producer sent me a new track and I'm sitting and I'm like, oh, this is dope. This is cool. All right, cool. All right. I'll speak to you later. Let me just go and get to writing because I'm feeling this. Okay, I got nothing. But the music is bumping, like, it's so good, but I've got nothing. Yeah. What? I've got nothing. Like that can be so frustrating at times when you don't feel. So I'm like, you know what? Before I get frustrated now, I'm just going to put it aside. And I'm going to continue on whatever. And I just come to God and say, Lord, there's this song. I love it. I need you to help me write to this and whatever. So I can tell you my experience right now is that I can't write at the moment because he's got me in a season where it's almost like a wilderness season. So it's very quiet. I got to go into my secret place. I got to go into the closet, and he wants me to study Psalms. Now we know what Psalms is about. Oh yeah. Loads of songs, poems, he wants me to sit in there. And I feel like I was told that that's the place where he's going to give me new downloads of stuff that he wants me to tell out. So now, as much as I'm hyped, I'm like, oh, I'm ready to do the new song. He's like, get in the word, read Psalms. There's a reason for it. I'm going to open up something to you and I'm going to download it. So sometimes you have to just sit and wait and just wait. Yeah.
Hey, that is such a great breakdown, because I think, you know, people, we get so spoiled. We just go to Apple Music and who's got some new music out? Great. Let me hear this. You know, and we just think it's a conveyor belt, you know, but people are working so hard at this. And I love how you talk about the takes and over and over and over again. And people have no idea. It's very hard to burst something out in this world that we've never heard before. And so respect to that. That is such a thorough and great answer. I love that. So I want to ask you something. When I watched your live and you talked about basically the gospel scene in the UK, and you've also been in the US as well. So I want to ask you, is there a real difference, do you feel, because you're in the UK now, is there a difference between the UK gospel scene and the US gospel scene? And do you feel like, put it like this, are US artists more received better in the UK, or are UK artists better received in the US? I'm gonna drop that there, run with it.
I don't know how many people are gonna hate me for this, but everyone knows, for those that know me, they know I'm very forward. I am very open, so I will just speak my truth. But okay, so yes, there is a difference because there is no real gospel platform in the UK. So the issue with the UK is that not a lot of people support their own people here. Okay. The reason I feel behind that is because no one has really made it that big over here in the gospel. And no, I wouldn't say made it that big, but it's I feel like things are done in such a small scale, because once again, I feel like there is no actual platform. And also I feel that musically here, Christian artists are afraid to really venture out with the production for it to sound commercial, or they feel like, oh, it's got to sound like it's Christian, it's got to sound like it's gospel. And I'm just like, don't be afraid if people say to you, oh, what kind of, if when I say people, oh yeah, it's my sound is R&B, that goes, oh, I thought you did gospel. I'm like, gospel is the lyrical content, but the music sound is R&B. See, people always get those things confused, and I'm here to teach some people. Like, I do R&B music, the sound of it, rhythm and blues. I do the sound of R&B, but the lyrical content is gospel. That's what it is. So, so US artists has always been well received here because I feel like they're not afraid, and the music sounds so good. And I feel like maybe R&B origin is from the US. UK is more like, we're known for the pop culture and the indie culture and stuff like that, and the grime scene, the rap scene. But in terms of gospel and all that, it's not as big as, most of the radio stations here that will play gospel music. Most of it is artists that are in the US because, it's almost like they take it seriously out there. Like, they're not afraid to push the gospel forward and spend the money and all that. And here it's just like, yeah, well, we're just going to get someone to play guitar and we're just going to, and I'm like, no one ain't taking this seriously. Like, come on, So for me, so I just feel like the US, I mean, that's my influence anyway, in terms of the sound that you guys have. I've grown up in that. So the style is different. So a lot of our influence is from the US, and that is literally just what it is. But I'm telling you, with the music that we're coming with, the amount of people that has heard it already, they're like, yo, you are about to smash in the UK, like what you're doing, breaking out of that box, and before me and my producer Justin, before we even started pushing this, even he listened over to the music, we're like, yo, there's a space for this. You don't understand, because if you're trying to, okay, so we're going to throw this out there. So if let's say Christians that will listen to certain secular music, they'll listen to a Her or a Kalani, they'll hear, oh yeah, that's R&B, yeah, but then they listen to mine and they're like, wait, we can't tell the difference. That's what I want my music to be able to fit in the world, not just gospel category. No, that's I'm just different. That's what it is. And I've had it prophesied to me, and I've had it confirmed and reaffirmed that I am made differently, and what God is about to do with me and the music that we have created is going to be on a different level that some people that are very traditional will not understand. But it's not for them to understand. It's what God is doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe everyone is called to a people, and that's just that. So, I mean, there are people that need your music. Yes. There are some people that will probably or have probably never listened to traditional gospel music, but when they hear your music, it's going to hit on another level. And that's just that. And that's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I look different as it is. So it's like, I can tell you one time I was in the US when we was touring Alabama, right? That was funny. It was funny, but it was nerve-wracking. And yeah, but it was funny when I look back at it now. So obviously you see I've got this big hair. I'm just different. It's like, obviously, you know, I have tattoos, I'm pierced. So it's like when you first look at me, they're judging me. I know that
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes.
they're judging me. So they're looking at me thinking, who's this coming in the church? And then so we went to this one church in Alabama, and I remember, and already the looks I was getting was, you know, and I was thinking, oh no, I'm gonna perform and these people hate me already. I could see it. They're judging me with their eyes, like, you know, and I was scared but once I got on that stage and and I sang one of my songs, it was like, I mean, there was like maybe 15 people in the whole church anyway, but it was like they stood up. Like, I saw one woman in the back of her hands up like this, and I was thinking, what? You know, so when I got off, I'm like, I was so nervous, and everyone came to me and said, oh my gosh, you were so anointed, like that is amazing, and I'm thinking, oh, thank you. And I'm thinking, wow, look at that. Like you just looked at me, but all you needed to do was just listen, listen, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, and from then, you know, even managers that I've had and stuff, they always say, like, you are not made to sing to the choir, although the choir can hear it. You are made for places like, you may even have to go to the club and sing. She said, you're not going to do what they do, but you're going to need to go out. You're going to evangelize to them in a different way. Yeah. You're going to need to go to those bars and libraries and wherever you need to go to. But you're called for a different way of reaching it.
Well, listen, like, Coco, you just hit on something. I want to just real quick. Mm-hmm. I've debated with people about that. I remember, you know, talking about commission, Marvin Sapp, when his song Never Would Have Made It, it was really big. And he got invited to sing it at, I think, the MTV Awards or something like that. And somebody was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's going to go there. But I told him, I said, listen, they want him to sing that song, and he's going to reach people that would never hear even gospel at MTV. They're never going to hear something like that. That's the purpose of what that song is for. And
exactly,
you know, so yeah, you might, if you gotta go, as long as they let you be who you really are, and if you're proclaiming the name of Christ, I don't care if you're singing it in a church, at a club, at a pub. I know you guys have pubs maybe over there, whatever. Do it, because you're gonna touch somebody. So yeah.
And is there a place that you can't bring a soul? Like where is it that you can go that a soul is off limits? Like exactly. There is no place.
Right.
And I believe that if we just sit back and we were waiting for people to come into our church, and that is our opportunity, then you know we're doing a disservice.
Yeah, we're limited. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
For sure. Okay, so I know you've actually, because we've kind of talked about this kind of stuff, and you've hit it a little, but I'll ask the question, if there's anything you want to add to that, then great. When you're songwriting, is there a specific way you like to write, or is it more of an anytime, anywhere sort of thing?
Okay, so since I've come back to writing music, I do have a way of writing. Before, I used to be able to, I'd walk around, I could be going anywhere. I could be sitting on a train traveling somewhere, and then I'll just get a melody in my head, and I'm like, oh, let me get my phone quick. And I got to sing the melody in my phone. Then when I get home, I'll write to it. But at the moment, obviously being stuck at home, and obviously with my producers sending me tracks and stuff, what I tend to do is, when it comes to the writing side, I like to set the mood. So at nighttime, obviously, I have colored lights. So I have my LED lights in my living room, and I have big lights in the corner. So I've got all these different color lights in there. So I set that mood. And, you know, and I will pray before I start. I always have to give it to him. Say, look, if there's anything you want to add in there, like, give it to me, download it to me. And then I'll play the instrumental, and then I just wait until the ideas start to flow. Or sometimes I will just mumble melodies. You know, when I'm hearing it, I'll just hear that melody. Okay, I'm like, okay, cool. And then it'll come, and sometimes just certain little words will come, and then I'll play around with it until it sticks. And And at times words will randomly come out as well, but I do have to be in the mood to write, and that can be hit and miss at times. So, which is very frustrating, as I've said before, especially if you have deadlines. But with us, we didn't, and it was just free flowing. So normally I'll just play the instrument deep in my ears, and I'm just like, all right, cool. And I'll just do the melody first. I always do the melody first because that's normally the first thing that comes. And I'm very visual. So I see the visual for it as well at the same time. So that's when I know a song is for me. Because if I can see a video playing while I'm hearing it, or if I see certain things or colors, sometimes I see colors. So that's when I know the song is for me. And then the writing comes easily. So I get the melody, I chop up the melody, and then I'm like, cool, we start with the hook. I create the hook first always, because that's the hook that's going to get people drawn in, because it's the most repeated part of the song. So that's where I start with, and then I fill out the rest. And that's pretty much normally how I write.
I love hearing that. I love when there's a process. It's funny. I was trying to write some stuff last night, and I just wasn't in the good. I had an idea. I was like, you know what? It just doesn't feel right. Let me just wait. And I was like, I'm gonna sleep and come up tomorrow. But I love it, and I love you. So you start with melody. It's for me. It can be anything. Sometimes I get a good melody, and I prefer that because, like you say, it's kind of the hook, and I can build around it. But then every once in a while, I'll just hear somebody say a phrase. Like I wrote down a phrase yesterday. I was like, I don't know what this is going to be, but let me write it down now and say
Yeah.
You know, guys, we've been enjoying this time with Coco. So I got one more question, then we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with one other thing for you. But what are your goals then? So you got the project coming out. You said 10 years that you've just kind of been going through some things, and now you're kind of putting it in. So where do you really want to go with this? What are your goals for your career?
My goodness, there's a lot. Well, in terms of the music, I try not to limit, like I said, we've already put together 4 projects, which is literally not a lot of people do. So normally they say, okay, we've done one project, let's work on the next. Well, we've literally got my project set for the next year and a half. So the whole point of that is just, is to get that. God is literally is the author of this whole thing. So he's in the driving seat. So we've asked him to, to push it out worldwide, internationally, everywhere he can make it reach. And one of the things that we've been praying on, that's kind of been confirmed, is for me to actually move back to the US as well. So yeah, I mean, we don't know the official time, but obviously these are all things that God has been giving me as well in prayer. So he's just like, you are going to be living in the US. I'm like, I am? Okay, fantastic. One thing is he'll give you the end, but sometimes he won't give you the things in between. I'm like, oh man, how am I going to get there? When am I going to get there? And
yeah,
like,
come in part.
Yeah. So I know that for a fact, because my thing is that I want to be able to work with other artists and be able to collab. Like I've always wanted to work with Fred Hammond. That's one of my goals. Like I need to work with Fred Hammond. He's an amazing writer, and I need to experience his writing stage and what he like. I want to be able to have that. And obviously one of my goals is to win a Grammy.
Hey, let's go.
I don't think small. And I had a dream. God actually put it in that dream and confirmed something also with my producer. So I'm like, yo, we don't want to chord. Like God is definitely doing something. So I'm and I see certain things in my vision. So I always kind of just give that to God. So I'm always thinking in advance. I'm like, yes, Grammy's coming. Also, I don't just do music. So obviously I'm working on a clothing brand as well. So obviously I want that to be able to reach worldwide as well with what I'm doing, which is called Royalty. In fact, I'm actually wearing one of my hoodies as well. So that I'm sporting, if you see at the front.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, nice.
And I've done a cross on the back. I've got a page for it. So I'm building that up and pushing that, but I'm also working on women's ministry as well. And that's one of the main things that I'm also building, which I'm hoping to expand to the point where I'm traveling around the world and helping women understand their purpose and help women who are suffering with mental health and depression and all these things, and and just see where else the future takes me. But those are the main key things, is that the music will just expand and go everywhere where God has me on the road, going from different countries, ministering, performing, and building that women's ministry where I'm not just singing, but I'm also I'm talking, I'm helping, other women and stuff like that. And yeah, those are the major things for me.
Man, that's outstanding.
And I'm writing a book.
And a book too. Like, okay, all right. Like the juggle is what I love. It's the clothing, the book, the Grammy, all of that. We receive all of that. Guys, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come right back. Because we're gonna I feel like it's starting to take off. The this or that. Coco doesn't even know what it really is yet. It's a little game we're gonna play, but she's giving us a lot of personality, y'all, but we're gonna get a little bit more. All right. Right after this break, we'll be right back.
Customers know that all their homely needs will be properly handled when working with Julie Palmer. Not only is Julie Palmer an excellent realtor, but she is well known for having gained notoriety for advertising properties, broad preparation, and a grand knowledge of information on the nearby market. Julie is the basic asset for showcasing extravagant properties. Her relationship with Just Vegas Land has given her accessible contributions throughout the incredible nearby and worldwide assets, and she has a set-up record for watchfulness and security when addressing esteemed customers. Why wouldn't you choose Julie Palmer when looking for the perfect home? So please, you can contact her at juliepalmerrealtor@gmail.com, or you can check out her website at lasvegaslife.style, or you can check her out on Instagram at las_vegas_life_style. You certainly will not be disappointed.
Okay, so we are back with Coco Dupree, and listen, we want to play a game. This has been really fun for me so far, for us so far. I really like this game. So what we are going to play, Coco, is this or that. So I'm just going to give you two things, and you give me your preference out of the two.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Why she look nervous? Like, oh my God.
I'm scared.
No way. No way. Okay. Let's see. So we'll start off with, okay. Coco, city girl or countryside?
Oh.
Oh man. City girl.
All right. Okay, Monty.
I would say I am a city guy as well. I like the hustle and bustle of the city. I do.
Like the noise.
Yeah, I like the noise. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Regular book or ebook, Coco?
Ebook.
Monty?
I would agree. Like my iPad is just I love it because I got everything right there. Shout out the books to the old school, but I do like the ebooks. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give mine on this one. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I know that. I'm so sorry. That's Bentley. I know that. A lot of people love ebooks, but I'm an old school type of person. Like it's something about flipping the pages.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's
so I would prefer even like my textbooks. I still get like actual like books. Like I just like to flip the pages. I don't know.
Wait. So then let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Do you use the bookmarks or do you use the dog ear on the page?
I use the bookmark.
Okay.
Oh my God. See, you know what's so funny is the reason why for me is my preference is ebook. I'll keep it short, but the reason why I have ebook is because a lot of the times when I'm reading ebooks is because it has the option where you compress the audio so that I can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that is though is because I'm a very smart woman. Okay. But I grew up with dyslexia. So a lot of the time when I would read, I used to read backwards and I don't know that I'm reading backwards.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I will read a line and I'll read the line 4 times and I don't even realize that I'm reading the same line. So I get distracted very, very quickly. So, and even sometimes I don't always understand what's being read. So either I have to read it aloud or I'll just have it audio. So even with my Bible, so I have a book I have my physical Bible, but then I have my phone app as well.
Yeah, me too.
Because then it can read it to me if I don't understand something. So, but thank God he's really stretching me, because I'm able to read something and not get stuck anymore, and not so which is good. But that's my reason for why I want.
But that's a really good, because honestly, I'm a person that I read out loud. Like I can read it to myself 10 times in silence, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't get it. I have to literally like read out loud to understand it. I do.
Right. Really, I'm telling you, crazy. Some people must think I'm really crazy, because I'm proper like, and he said,
yeah, that's me.
Like she's doing a play or something. I don't know what.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously we've all been locked down under quarantine all this time, and we haven't been able to do some of the things that we like to do. The world is opening back up. So dine in or delivery?
Oh.
Dine in. Oh, what? We can't do a 50-50 on that one? Oh gosh. I have to say delivery. I gotta be real. Like it is a 50-50, but you know, most of the time we have, I mean, yeah, it is 50-50, but you know, I do like a delivery when it comes to certain things that I want.
Well, I'll tell you this, Tiff, I'm not trying to be subversive, but I am, before the pandemic, after the pandemic, all that, I'm a takeout guy. So I get it myself, and because I hate paying the delivery fee. That delivery fee could be $1, and I'll be like, what? I'm gonna go get it myself. I never get pizza delivered. I always just pick it up. I always take it out. That's me.
Right. Okay. Coco, it is your birthday. Okay. Do you prefer big party or small little get together, small gathering?
Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be a blowout. Like, you know,
it's going up.
Everyone's gonna be there, so we can have a big old barbecue, and everybody, the whole family, the whole block is coming. The music, we're gonna have 10 speakers, and no. Yeah, I do like. I've never had one though, which is funny. I've never had something huge, except for my 30th. But I do like to have something big, but I've never really had one like so.
Yeah, I'm more the low key. I like my family will tell you I really don't do a lot of big things for a birthday. Like I'll be sitting home chilling and all like that. But Tiff, I'd like to hear your answer for that though.
Oh, okay. Yes. You're judging me. I feel it already through the Zoom. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So honestly, if I could have like a big party, I would love to have a big party, right? Yeah. But I'm more of a before a 10-person minimum, giving my good little 10 friends, and we're just like, I don't mind. Because we can do a small gathering, because to me, you're a small group of people, y'all can do it big and whatever it is that you do. Now, people, they talk about me, Coco, they say, Tiffany, we can't, first of all, you like to like be in charge of everything, and like nobody, you know, because I'm like, y'all gonna give me a surprise party? They're like, what? We can't surprise you, like, because then you will be in charge of the food, who to come in and who gonna sit there and where and whatever we're gonna do. We can't do one of those. So I would like to have a big party, but
listen, now, okay, Coco, we about to let you go. We're not gonna hold you much longer, but let me tell you about Tiff.
I'm having fun.
Tiff, she had a party recently. And so she invited me. She said her friends, she's like, you know, I didn't want to do nothing big. My friends insist on me coming. She said, you should come through. I said, oh, okay. I had a conflict though. Like she told me, you know, she found out the day of, she told me the day of. But when I look on Instagram and I see the pictures, Coco, I was dressed from work. So I look like I'm working at Verizon. Like I got on a polo shirt and some slacks. They are all dressed like tuxedo dress. Tip is in his big dress and this hair.
Black
I said, y'all would have had me coming up in there looking like I'm serving shrimp on a platter. Like,
he said he came up there like the help.
I was totally not dressed. I didn't know how they do it big. Even the little stuff, they do it big.
Wow.
Nah,
okay.
man,
So I'm Okay, but so yeah, we can do it big with my small group. That'll be my answer.
Yeah, big with yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I got one more for
One
you
more,
all, okay? And then this will conclude our this and that. Amusement park or a nice day at the beach?
Oh.
That's so easy. A nice day at the beach.
That's a whole vibe.
I cannot do amusement parks. I do not like rides. I don't like being taken up and then drop down somewhere. I cannot, I used to be a thrill seeker, but I think as I get older, oh gosh, let me be careful how I say that. As I get older, I don't like all that stuff. Me, I just chill by the beach with my family and just take in the sun and just be in the enjoy the ambiance. That's what I want.
See me, I'm an amusement park guy, like Disney World, Knott's Berry Farm. I don't get on the rides as much anymore, but I do like to still ride and stuff. So I would be an amusement park guy. Tiff,
Listen, take me on the zip line through the jungle. I'm with all of that kind of smoke. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to the amusement park and I'm getting on all the rides. Take me all the way up and drop me down. Okay. For whatever reason, I like to have like a mini heart attack. I don't know why, but whatever.
See, zip line sounds good. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. But now with so many people surrounding me, whatever, like that, I would love to do. I would love to do that.
Now, Coco, if you come to Las Vegas, we got zip line.
We're going to do
it.
You're
going to be way up.
Yeah, I have to do it. That's one of my bucket lists.
All right.
When you come to Vegas, we're taking you zip lining.
We're going to take you zip lining. Yeah, for sure.
Deal.
Guys,
we had so much fun.
That was so awesome. This interview, I mean, the energy, Coco, you are great. You are.
Thank you.
And you know what's funny? When I look at your Instagram, which I'm gonna have you plug as well. You can't judge a book by its cover, guys. I really didn't know your personality yet, so I thought you might be kind of low key and quiet and might not talk a lot. Because, you just see pictures. You don't know how people are going to be, but you are amazing. So please let people know where they can find you and your music.
Oh, yeah. So Instagram, mainly right now, we're plugging everything on the Instagram. So that's on Coco_Dupree official. I'm also on Facebook. So you can just type in Coco Dupree in Google. You will find me. Everything will come up, on Twitter, the same thing, Coco Dupree Music with a Z. And then once the single is out, just type in Coco Dupree on Spotify and iTunes and it will all pop up.
Awesome.
Perfect.
And your manager and your assistant, she sent me the single and it is so good, guys. I
have to send a shout out to Just Mentals. He actually produced the track alongside a co-producer called J-Track. They both collabed on that one for me. So, hats off to both of them. They've been absolutely amazing. So Just Mentals, he's my main producer as well. So he's basically on all the projects that I've got coming out. So it's just fun.
No, you got an amazing voice and it's great. So Tiff, anything else?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and drop this in right now. Because now this is becoming a thing, right?
Right.
Our favorite things. Okay. So when your project comes out, we want to invite you to come back to our favorite things. Sure. And we want to do a listening party and we want to go track by track because this is about your journey. So we would love to have you on and let's explain what this journey is.
Yes. That perfect. Guys, we got different iterations of this show and the listening party, we did it with an artist once and it was so great because he really broke down what each track meant. And we would love that when your EP drops, we definitely have to have you back on. So guys, I mean, I don't know, Tiff, was this our first international guest?
It was, yes.
So now we
oh yeah, we in the UK with it.
So we out here. Thank you so much, Coco. Guys, please check out her music again. I love when we have artists on and they have something that you can listen to now. I mean, she's got an older project out there as well right now. I've seen it on Apple Play. Check her out with that, and I can't wait for the new thing. You can find us, Our Favorite Things podcast, of course, on Instagram, Mighty Sharp Network. This has been a blast. Coco, thank you again. All right. We want you to have a great day. Be blessed. All right. And you guys know what to do. Stay sharp. Thank you, Coco.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.